There's something just magical about growing your own food. That moment when you plant a tiny seed, and with just a little bit of care, you get to watch it sprout into something you can actually eat. It honestly feels like a miracle. But what if I told you the biggest part of that miracle is one we almost never get to see? Let's dig a little deeper and uncover the real secret to a thriving garden. We're always focused on the sunlight, the water, watching the leaves unfurl, but what's really making it all happen? What's the engine that powers a sweet tomato or a crunchy piece of lettuce? It's so easy to think it's just our hard work, but the real secret, it isn't about what we do on the surface. The answer isn't hiding in your watering can or that bag of fertilizer. Nope, it's right under our feet, in a world that's just as complex and alive as the garden we see growing up above. So, let's explore this hidden world together. Because honestly, understanding what's happening under the surface is the real key to transforming your garden from just a patch of dirt into a truly thriving, self-sustaining ecosystem. That's right. I want you to think of the ground beneath your plants not as dirt, but as this sprawling underground metropolis. And just to give you an idea of how bustling it is, get this. A single teaspoon of healthy garden soil can contain billions of tiny living organisms. Billions! It has workers, engineers, a super complex communication network, and a recycling system that would make any city totally jealous. This living city is the foundation of everything. So, who are the residents of this amazing city? Well, it's time to meet the tiny, often overlooked heroes that make your garden grow. They might be microscopic, but their impact is absolutely monumental. First up, let's meet the recyclers. These are creatures like mites and springtails. They're the cleanup crew. The second a leaf falls or a root dies, they rush in, shredding and breaking down all that old organic matter. And in the process, they turn it into the essential nutrients that your plants are craving. They are nature's ultimate composters. Then we have the engineers. Everyone knows the good old earthworm, right? But beetles and other insects are just as important. As they tunnel and burrow through the soil, they're creating little highways and aqueducts. These tiny channels allow air and water to get deep into the soil, and they make it super easy for plant roots to stretch out and find everything they need. They literally build the very structure of the city. And this brings us to the networkers. Okay, this might be the most incredible group of all. Fungi create these vast, microscopic webs that thread all through the soil, connecting everything. You can think of it like the city's high-speed fiber optic network. It's how information and resources get sent all around. And here's where it gets really, really cool. A specific type of fungi, called mycorrhizal fungi, forms a direct partnership with your plant's roots. The fungus acts like a root extension, reaching way farther than the plant ever could to find water and nutrients. And in return, the plant sends down some of the sugary foods it makes from sunlight. It's a perfect trade. This beautiful symbiosis is happening right under your feet.
So we have our recyclers, our engineers, and our networkers. But the real magic isn't just what they do individually, it's how they all work together. A diverse and bustling underground city creates an incredibly resilient and productive garden.
So, what does that mean for you, the gardener? Well, it means you get natural fertilization thanks to the recyclers. It means a stronger defense against pests and diseases. The engineers create a soil structure that holds onto water way better so you don't have to water as often. All of this leads to stronger, healthier plants with way less need for any chemical fertilizers or pesticides. Scientists can actually map these hidden communities, and they look something like this. A super dense web where every little point is an organism and every line is a relationship. The key takeaway here is pretty simple. The more complex and connected this web is, the healthier and more resilient your garden becomes. It's all about the teamwork.
Okay, so this leads to the big question, right? How do we help them? How can we, as gardeners, support this incredible underground team? The good news is, it's surprisingly simple.
First, we've got to understand what helps and what hurts. Think about conventional tilling, turning over the soil every single year. Well, to that underground city, it's like a massive earthquake. It just tears apart all those fungal networks, destroys the tunnels, and basically wrecks the entire ecosystem. The opposite approach, no-till or low-till gardening, protects that city and allows it to really thrive. So here are 3 simple things any of us can do. 1. Disturb less. Protect that city from those earthquakes. 2. Cover the soil. A layer of mulch, like straw or shredded leaves, is like putting a protective blanket on top. It also serves as a slow-release food source for all our little recycler friends. And 3, feed the soil.
Adding compost is like throwing a massive feast for the entire community. It provides all the fuel they need for all this amazing work.
When you start to see the soil this way, your role as a gardener just changes. You're not just growing plants anymore. You become the caretaker, the steward of this entire miniature world. It's a whole living universe, right there in your hands.
This really brings us full circle, doesn't it? We've talked about the science, the networks, and all the tiny heroes in the soil. But what it all boils down to is this simple truth. When you work with that hidden world, when you feed it, protect it, and respect it, you are taking a step toward health. Not just for your plants, but for yourself. You're reconnecting with nature in the most fundamental way, and that brings a simple, powerful kind of joy.
So the next time you're in your garden, whether it's just a few pots on a balcony or a whole plot in the yard, remember that hidden city teeming with life just beneath the surface. You are its steward. What amazing things will you help it grow?